Hey guys, George Roddy. In this lesson, we're talking. I want to train you guys and teach you about answering services. Now, you've spent money on your marketing collateral and your marketing campaigns, and you're positioning your phone number in all of your marketing pieces. And the question is that phone number going to go to your cell phone or is it going to go to an answering service? And a lot of you guys, I know in particular, there are people that are still working full-time jobs, and so we have to implement some type of a fulfillment center and answering service in order to handle these calls, because if it just goes to your voicemail, there is a chance that they're going to just call someone else, and that's what we don't want. We've spent the money on putting together our marketing pieces and spent the money on the postage, and now it's found its way to a candidate or a lead. They've called you, and it's one thing to send it to a voicemail. It's another to have a live, warm body answering the call and at least setting up an appointment. So what I've listed here is a couple different websites that we want you to look at, and really this is going to take these answering services charge anywhere from $40 to $150 a month. So just getting started out, I would look at the $40 or $100. Then there's two that can run you a little bit more. Better, highly reputable, but they cost more. So let's go through this. Let me start from top and then go down. So from the most expensive, right on the screen, you've got a Better Answer. Now this is a local company. I've used them in the past and very reputable. They answer the phone 24/7. They're very professional. But a Better Answer, and by the way, the links will be below. A Better Answer is going to run you about $150 for most of you guys, just kind of as a base plan. So $150 gets you about 100 minutes. They do charge a setup fee and of around, I think it's $70. So I know this company is very reputable, but at the same time, there's more cost-effective answering services out there. So number one is a Better Answer. And basically what you're going to do to them is you're going to set up, I'm assuming that you've listened to Tim's Google Voice video, where he talks about setting up a business line or getting a business line. And Google Voice is where you can get that for free. But once they call in, you're going to have an answering service. Your Google Voice line is going to forward to this answering service. And what you're going to do is you're going to provide them with a script. And let me just kind of give you an example of the script. And again, the script, it's just a basic script. You don't want to get too much information and try to dig too deep, because you're probably going to scare the person off on the other line or the other end of the phone. So here's what the people say on my answering service. They basically say, hey, thanks for calling 972 Home Buyers. This is Diane. Or, hey, thanks for calling 972 Home Buyers. This is Chuck. How may I help you? And so that's really part of the setting up your business, is getting a company name and an identity. So that's how they answer the phones. And then the person says, yeah, I got a marketing piece. Great. Hey, George is out of the office on an appointment right now, but if you don't mind, can I get some information from you? And he will call you back shortly in order to set up a time and an appointment. So bottom line, it takes them from, we're ready to act. Okay, we're ready to set an appointment and get some information. And that's, if they say yes, that's great. Then, hey, let me first get your name and the best phone number and an email address for you, and so we can communicate with you. Then what is the property address? And please provide me with a city in an area. And then, would it be convenient for George to come out this week and look at your property? So it kind of sets the tone that we're ready, willing, and able to come out. So again, the script, it's short and sweet. That should take less than a minute for them to get that information. And then what happens is they'll email me and text me whenever a call comes in. So I instantly get the message. It's basically a minute after they call, I get the message, and then if I'm not in an appointment or I'm not busy, then I'm going to call them. But it's really up to you guys to call. You've got to be diligent at calling these people back. Okay, 24 hours is way too long. More like 4 to 6 hours is really what you need to look at, because they're going to be calling other people and setting up appointments, and you want to at least have a chance. These properties are in your backyard because you've been property trained, that these aren't in Timbuktu that you have to drive an hour to. So a better answer is a call center, very reputable but expensive. Number 2 is Pat Live. A lot of you guys have heard about Pat Live. Basically you can look at their services. Let me just scroll down here. Pat Live is another very reputable, very real estate investor savvy. So hosted numbers, hosted receptionist. Let's go through here. Here's your features and pricing. It's $89 a month, and then you get 0. So right here for 100 minutes, it's going to run you $159 or $160. That's for 100 minutes. So again, A Better Answer and Pat Live are both the top tier, and I've got two other call centers that I would probably suggest that you try before you go to Pat Live and A Better Answer. But these are 2 top tier, very reputable companies. So if you ever, I've never used these other 2, so if you run into problems, you might need to go to A Better Answer and Pat Live. The third one is Flat Rate Answering Service. I just got off the phone with Kathleen at Flat Rate. Very diligent, good quality. It's running $98 a month. And she gave me a little Excel spreadsheet. $98. What they do is they break it up into 24-second increments. So bottom line is, if someone calls in and you keep the questions that they're asking to a minimum, and I would suggest that you do 3 to 4 questions total, then you should probably get 100 calls, which equates to 100 minutes. And more than likely, guys, you're not going to get more than 100 calls just starting out. Now, when you start sending out a bunch more marketing pieces, then you might have to increase it. But 150 minutes probably gets you at least 100 calls. And the good thing is they don't charge for extra minutes. So if you do go to 200 minutes, the good thing is they don't charge you more than $98. So if you do have a big month, now if they see a trend where you're consistently doing 200 minutes, then they'll probably you're going to need to go to the 138 model. But that's after 3 months. If you go 3 months consecutively, then they're going to ask that you bump it up to the 138 price point. But the good thing is you don't have any overage if you have a big month. So all you're looking at is $100 a month. And then lastly, you have Community Answering Services. This is $40 a month, and you get 100 calls. Now, the bad thing is 100 calls, if they call in, it counts as a call, and they don't leave a message, or they just hang up. That counts as a call, and you're going to get some of that. So bottom line is, 1 call, whether it's a minute or 6 seconds, counts. But again, very cost effective. I talked to them today, and I filled out my form, and none of these, both the Flat Rate Answering and Community Answering Services, there is no commitment, so you can go month to month, which I like. If you want to take a couple months off, you can, but obviously we're not going to suggest you do that, because you're going to have a consistent marketing campaign each and every month. So guys, Tim and I strongly implore you to set up a call center or an answering service for your business. Even if you're doing it part-time, I'd much rather have someone answer the phone any and every time someone calls, and you give them the script. In both Community and Flat Rate, both have no setup fees, and they're month to month. So it's I would strongly suggest that you look at Flat Rate or Community Answer. Community Answer, talk to Bernice. I don't think I'm going to try them out, and I'll let you know over the next couple weeks, because I've got several numbers, Google numbers, that I'm going to use, and I'm just going to test. I'm going to be sending out the marketing pieces to the same people, but half of it is going to go to Flat Rate Answer, and half of it's going to go to Community Answering. So I'll let you know as I find out, but $40 a month, you can't beat that for you guys just starting out. So that is an important aspect of handling inbound calls in your business, and Tim and I strongly suggest you look at doing this instead of having it go to your voicemail and you calling them back when you get a chance. That's it for now. We'll see you on the next lesson.